Guys, I am back again, but I'm here this time to talk about hair oil rosemary. So we're going to talk about that. So how rosemary affects blonde hair. Rosemary may turn hair dark, but the thing is, it's true to a point. If you're not using certain ingredients together and the proportion stuff is right, as well as pure essential oils and things like that, yeah, certain things can happen. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about this real quick. Hopefully not gonna be too long, but real quick. Rosemary being used by itself as a hair rinse oil can slightly darken or dull blonde hair over time. Mind you, I said using rosemary by itself and it's not in its pure form. Mind you, it's the herb is dark, right? And if it's not in its pure form, pure essential form, okay, it's not diluted. But if you're using rosemary by yourself, just doing some stuff, whatever, it's gonna be, the herb is kind of dark, right? So if your hair is light blonde, and if that, using it like that, it depends on what oil stuff you're using, and if you're not doing a blunt test to see if it's gonna stain, it might stain. I'm just saying. But when things are done right, in proportions, and done, with a chemist, they know what they're doing. Not just somebody at home mixed up some stuff and not sure what gonna cause what effect, this and whatever. They just mixing up oils and all that. Some things might not be in a form it to be, or it could be old. But anyway, just know with that. So I'm gonna go into this a little bit. So we're gonna talk about if the rosemary being used by itself is not in its pure form, essentials, diluted and all that, but as a hair rinse oil, and it can slightly darken hair over a period of time. You're using it all the time. Okay, so that's why you have carrier oils and stuff in it. So something that you use, make it, if the carrier oils are in there, and certain carrier oils that are in there, make it so you can use this stuff on a daily, I would say more of a daily use, or more of a, frequent use. But if not, you have to do it in moderation if the stuff isn't broken down right. I just be giving information about certain things, what you can do, this and whatever, but you gotta do your own due diligence and look that up. I'll just say what some things do, what they do, how they can work for you, all those. Still do your due diligence, like I tell you. If you're allergic to certain things, if you're not sure, by doing a patch test. Okay, so I'm gonna finish this little thing. I want to look around again. I'm gonna repeat what I said again. So rosemary being used by itself as a hair rinse or oil can slightly darken or dull blonde hair over time. And I told you we have the main ingredients, whatever that carries, whatever in there, they counteract all this stuff. Okay, so pure rosemary essential oil is completely clear to a pale yellow liquid because it is highly concentrated plant extract. It should always have a thin, non-greasy consistency and leave no stain if tested on a piece of paper. I'll say it again. Pure rosemary essential oil is completely clear to a pale yellow liquid because it is highly concentrated plant extract. It should always have a thin, non-greasy consistency and leave no stain if tested on a piece of paper. Okay, because the natural oil is highly sensitive to sunlight and UV rays, you will always find it sold in dark amber or cobalt glass bottles to prevent it from oxidizing. Okay, now if your rosemary oil is thick, greasy, brightly colored, or artificially green, it has likely been heavily diluted with a carrier oil or contain synthetic additives. Okay, so that's something to look for. So like I said, people need to be mindful of what they're saying. And don't be misleading. Don't just throw something out there without evidence or making your comments or statements as, you know, with more details, something to back it up. Okay, I'm one of those kind of people that will, you know, do research. If you go look at my videos and things, you will see that I'm giving information out there about each ingredient, what the ingredient do, and also have carriers, whatever, or what you need to add as a carrier to whatever. Okay, I'm not just throwing some out there and just leaving like that and done. If you looked at the video, rosemary video, the video came on there and it's showing you the different carriers that's within it, and you can see the color of it coming out of the drop clear. Okay, but anyway, so keep talking. Okay, so like I said, if your rosemary oil is thick, greasy, brightly colored, or artificially green, it has likely been heavily diluted with a carrier oil or contains synthetic additives. Okay, so like I say, if you're looking at a topical rosemary oil, like a popular Ashante Ultimate Styles hair oil rosemary, the colors should be clear. Okay, you have a clear or that pale yellow looking color, right? But well, I said other companies' colors or whatever will vary depending on the specific carrier oils blended into the product. I can't vouch nobody else's stuff, but I'm just saying, I'm just giving you information, okay? But anyway, if you're trying to test the quality of your oil, and do a paper blunt test, right? And you can see if it turns colors or whatever. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Okay, so pure diluted rosemary essential oil will not chemically darken blonde hair or change its permanent color. However, certain rosemary hair products, preparation methods, and specific application habits can leave a temporary residue that makes blonde hair look duller, brazier, or slightly darker. Understanding how rosemary interacts with lighter hair pigments requires distinguishing between chemical changes and physical staining. Okay, so I'm going on a little bit further. So how rosemary affects blonde hair. So pure rosemary oil cannot alter the genetic melanin productions inside your hair shaft to permanently change its shade without fear of ruining your natural base color. Okay, the carrier oil trap. Most people do not use pure essential oil. They use pre-made blends. Many popular options contain dark or heavy carrier oils like castor oil, avocado oil, or dark argan oil. These heavy oils coat porous blonde strands, picking up dirt and making the hair look way down and noticeably darker. Rosemary water versus rosemary oil. Homemade rosemary tea or rosemary water rinses will darken blonde hair. Boiling the plant material extracts water-soluble tannins and plant pigments. When left on light hair, these tannins act like a mild temporary vegetable dye, leaving behind a dull or reddish-brown tint. Porage and bleached hair vulnerability. If your blonde hair is chemically bleached, highlighted, or naturally high porosity, it acts like a sponge. It absorbs any tinted product much faster than healthy dark hair, increasing the risk of temporary discoloration. I'm just saying. So like I said, these people are using these, they're not being honest about certain stuff when people talk about this anything, right? But like I said, but using rosemary with certain carriers There's not actual pure essential oils. People are mixing stuff up at home or pre-made or whatever. Don't have the proper education on how to mix it down right, what to use. Like I said, if you're using these other heavy carrier oils, there's not, you know, pure whatever. Because like I said, our carrier oils, they mix down whatever it is, and they weren't perfect for whatever we have going on. But like I said, with this stuff right here, I'm just trying to let y'all know. You never know what somebody got going on or what they doing, and then they're telling the truth, so they mix up their stuff. Or they could have just actually got some products from somewhere and they're don't know what to look for. Or their product could have been old too. But like I said, they don't know what they're looking for, and their product looking all, and their stuff is greasy, dark looking, not properly packaged, right? In the right bottles. Okay. Anyway, that's how people do their due diligence. Anyway, I'm gonna keep talking. Then I'm gonna talk about the safe ways for blondes to use rosemary. So if you want the hair growth benefits of rosemary without risking your bright blonde color, follow these guidelines. Apply only to the scalp. Do not coat your entire hair length. That's on you too now. You gotta be mindful of what you're doing. I'm gonna say that again. Apply only to the scalp. Do not coat your entire hair length. Use a dropper to place the oil. Use a dropper to place the oil now directly onto your scalp. Massage it in and leave the mid lengths and ends completely clear. I'm gonna say it again. Apply oil to the scalp. Do not coat your entire hair length. Use a dropper to place the oil directly onto your scalp. Massage it in and leave the mid lengths and ends completely clear. Okay. Then use clear carrier oils. If you mix your own oil, use clear, light carrier oils that will not stain, such as fractionated coconut oil, jojoba oil, or grapeseed oil. Those things are in our products. I'm just saying. Okay. So then you will wash it out thoroughly. Avoid leaving oil treatments in your hair for days at a time. Let the oil sit on your scalp for 1 to 2 hours. Then wash it out completely using a clear and fine shampoo. Okay, your friends on how you should probably use the stuff in your head. If you're getting pre-made, whatever. But stuff that actually is done, read it on the back of the bottles. It will tell you that. People that got their stuff mixed down proportionally right. If it's clear, you did the blot test to see what it stain. If it don't stain, you can use it more frequently than the ones that you pre-made and they staining and all this other stuff. Like I said, you put it directly to your scalp. Not putting all the way down to the hair shaft, all the way down to the ends. Only to your scalp. Drop it. Massage. Okay. And I'm gonna say something else to you guys. But I'm gonna say this too. So commercially rosemary shampoos, conditioners, other things that are commercially done will not darken your blonde hair because they are industrially formulated. The plant pigments are heavily diluted and the product is directly rinsed away within minutes, leaving no color residue behind. We'll just go back to what I was just saying. So if the products are commercially done, that means they commercially went through product chemists or whatever, got chemists and all this stuff, and the increments, the proportion or all that are mixed down correctly to the point to get what it done, what it needs to be to get the effect that you need for the healthy hair growth, all the things, not staining the hair. And like I said, they're not about the packaging as well. Because some people might do all this stuff too, but their package is not right, or they're using the wrong carriers, or they could be using, I just said wrong carriers. Because some carriers are not essential, purified, all those different things. I'm just saying, just because they name it some stuff, if it's not, I'm just telling you what to look for. I ain't gonna go on that rant. I told you do a blot test to see if it's stained. If it's stained, it's on you. You want to still use it. Like I say, if you want to put this on your scalp for a little bit, don't leave it on long. Rinse it out, then use a clarifying shampoo. Because your hair is light. Blood is blood. It's just like you got a white shirt and you wash the white shirt with some color clothes. What's going to happen? It's going to sort of continue. The brightness of that shirt, it's not going to be bright white no more. They're going to be a dingy white. Or might even turn red. Looking like a pinkish color or whatever. But anyway, thank you for watching. Listen to my little rant. And thanks to whoever made a comment. Thank you for your concern, if it was concern. But if not, please do your due diligence as well when you're making comments. Because like I said, I do research. I'm going to make sure I'm doing research that it's enough information for me to put out about whatever my products, ingredients and all this stuff, what it does for my products. And with that said, make sure you watch those videos next time. Or if you didn't understand it, now you can probably do a check, whatever. And they might give you some information if you ain't looking it up. But anyway, go purchase your stuff today. If you got any questions, you can drop your comments down or whatever. And I will try to get to your comments and respond to them. But like I said, thanks to the lady with her comment. And hope her cat is doing well.